Hello everyone, this is AJ from Jay's Closet, coming to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Oh! Hello? Merry Christmas? Happy New Year? So what's up everybody, it's AJ back up on the channel Jay's Closet. You know, as you see behind me, I have two different schools. These are the two schools I attended, the two colleges I attended, two universities, institutions, whatever you like to say. These are the two places I attended for my undergrad. So Bethel College, I specifically chose this shirt because I did play basketball here. And this is the first school I went to. This is the school I went to my freshman and sophomore year, located in North Newton, Kansas, called Bethel College. And then here is where I ended my tenure in my undergrad. This is Langston University, my HBCU. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. This is where I ended school and things like that. So this is actually the first shirt I ever got from Langston University. So that's why I chose to show. And this is the first shirt I got from Bethel. So perfect. I didn't even think about that. But this is the shirt I signed in, and this is the shirt they gave me when I came on my somewhat of a visit. It was more so to just move my sister in, but I also got a tour. So they gave me this shirt. So yeah, so this video, as if you can't already tell, this is PWIs versus HBCUs. That should be the picture right there. Bow, bow, bow. And I'm just gonna talk about a few different things. The cool thing about this video from my perspective is that I attended and was a student for more than, for multiple years at both institutions. I was a student here for 2 years at Bethel and a student at Langston for 3. So I think it's really dope that I have a first-hand, hands-on idea of both sides of things. And I think that's important, not downing anybody who hasn't, because the point of the PWI HBCU thing is also just your opinion, what you feel more comfortable and things like that. So just to give y'all a little background on me as far as school is concerned, I've always went to PWI, I guess you could say. I've always went to predominantly white schools. I went to Putnam City North High School, which was actually pretty diverse, but still, I was still part of the minority. I also went to Cooper. Sorry, the sun makes it like I don't have no lipstick over here. But I also went to Cooper Middle School, and then all mostly white elementary schools. And I was fine, I wasn't one of those people that was like, I'm the only black kid, pro-black. That wasn't really me. I fit in pretty well. I didn't try to be white. I didn't try to be black. I didn't try to be anything. I just was me. And I feel like it's actually, it was a more positive experience for me because I feel like I became very diverse. I listened to a lot of different types of music, watched a lot of different types of TV, art, things like that. Like you'll watch, like if you're ever around me for 24 hours, you're going to see how my diversity changes like this. And I think it's huge. I mean, just going down my iTunes, I have country, I have hip hop, I have rap, I have blues, I have jazz. I have every type of music on my iTunes. I watch stuff from Glee to Love. I used to watch Basketball Wives. I can't watch some reality shows no more, but I literally watch a little bit of everything. And so I think that's really important to diversify yourself. So I think it's really great that I got to attend a PWI and an HBCU in college. I think my biggest area of growth time was college. I think that's for anybody though. So let's first of all explain the difference. A PWI is a predominantly white institution, meaning that pretty much in most PWI cases, back in slave times, or not even slave times, but in segregation times, blacks could not attend those schools. That's not me shouting out, but that's kind of how you separate the two. HBCUs were specifically created for black students to be able to receive a higher level education, and most of them were created in the 1890s or the 1880s, but that's kind of the time slot. Most HBCUs were created because, minorities, it's not even just blacks, but minorities wanted a higher education too. We want to be smart. So they created HBCUs. Woo, don't shoot me. So that's the first thing. That's the first difference. PWI, like I said, stands for predominantly white institution. HBCU stands for historically black college and university, which in my case I went to a university, but there are historically black colleges as well, like Texas College, Spelman College, Morehouse College, things like that. And then there are universities like Langston University, Clark Atlanta University, Texas Southern University, Prairie View A&M University, things like that. So the moment we all been waiting for, PWIs versus HBCUs. So let's start the PWI since that's where I attended first. At Bethel, I was clearly a minority. One of 4 100% black girls on campus. Okay, I don't say 100%, but 3 of the other black girls were clearly mixed, like white parent, black parent, or some type of other race and a black parent. Clearly mixed, but they're still black. So, but still, out of all the girls on campus, there were a total of, I want to say 8 or 9 girls that were black on campus, but there were clearly only about 5 that clearly identified with just being black, straight up, point blank period. Black. Like, I don't put mix, I don't put anything on my thing. It's just black, and that was myself. 2 set of triplets that were only, well, how to describe them? They're triplets, but their brother didn't come, so they're considered the twins at at Bethel. But those 2, and then my friend April. And then there were other people on campus, like I said, that were black. I don't want to put quotes around them, sorry. That were black and that identified with being black as well, but they, in all actuality, were mixed. But anyways, like I said, it's still less than 10. So that's just to give you an idea. Bethel, on average, holds about 400 students, and on campus, probably 250 to 300. So to be one of 10, that should tell you something right there. Second is that 9 times out of 10, if you were black at Bethel, you were an athlete. 9 times, almost 9.8 times out of 10. There was literally 1 girl that was black at Bethel that was not there for athletics. One girl, she was in choir. That's it. Every single black student on Bethel's campus was there for some form of athletics, and 9 times out of 10 it was basketball and football. Which is fine. I'm just giving you guys an idea of the minorityness on campus. There were other minorities. There were Latinos. There were Lord, there was a little bit of everything. There were Asians, different forms of Asian. I know my little Asian persuasion. I caught her. I caught her a few different things. She had another name, but I can't say it on here. But Lindsay, she's an Asian, but she's actually adopted by a white family, so that's pretty dope. And different other minorities, but I'm black, so that's what I'm talking about. And so I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, so so there are things we had to deal with on the campus, and then I'm really proud of us because there are things we did to kind of deal with those issues. So my freshman year there, we had I didn't really deal with a lot of the racial issues. One, like I said, I grew up as a minority, so I'm used to being a minority, so I've learned how to deal with it, how to fit in, how to just live, breathe, and eat and survive. Pretty much, I'm fine with that. I didn't have any issues. I didn't have a lot of people like call me out my name, things like that. I've never had those issues. The biggest thing I think I got was like people were so fascinated with my hair. And like when I got to Bethel, my hair was flat iron and it was just down. But I went home for a weekend, came back, and it was in Kinky Twist, and they went crazy. They were like, oh my gosh, how did you get your hair to do that? It was just straight, did it, like flipping out. And I'm like, y'all know this is weed, right? Anywho, so yeah, that was one of the biggest things. I'm sorry, these bracelets, I love them. They're cute, and I broke one of them. Anyways, I love bangles, by the way. But anyways, that was like some of the minor stuff I got, but never did like my black teammates or anything like that. I didn't get that. Now, I did hear that other people got that. They would get weird looks and people would talk about them, things like that. Mostly the boys had to deal with that, and I felt really bad for them. So second semester, my freshman year, they created this class called Seminar of Diversity, and it was pretty much meant to be a mix of students, and they specifically asked me to come be in that class, and I'm like, sure. It was the first one on campus. I don't know if they've had more classes since or anything like that, but it was the first one on campus, so it was kind of dope to be, you know, the pioneer and the pilot class for that. So in this class, we learned about all different types of diversity, and people think that the only type of diversity is your skin color. There are so many different types of diversity, and I think the biggest one that still sticks out to me today is Northern Americans versus Southern Americans, and there's a totally different. How you hear about Southern hospitality and Northern hospitality, totally different. And I think that was probably the most crazy because a lot of the students at Bethel were clearly Southern Americans, but there were a few Northern Americans, and most people thought they were rude. Well, now I know they're not rude. They're just really uptight people in general, and they have their reasons, and that's cool. So I really liked that class because it showed a lot of different diversities. It took away from the just black versus white perspective, and also gave us like, what about the Mexicans? What about the Chinese? What about religious diversities? What about geographical diversities? What about diversities within your own race and things like that, which is something I'm going to more touch on when I get to the HBCU diversity. But that was really a dope class, and we ended up doing we did a big presentation on different things we did. We went to go see a play that was kind of outside of our norm. We went to a Catholic Spanish mass, so that kind of touched on religion diversity, something we never done. No one in the class was Catholic, which is why he chose that. Most of us were Baptist. Bethel is a Mennonite institution, so a lot of the people there were Mennonite, which is still pretty much a pacifist Christian. Kind of summed up. That's how they explained it to me anyway. So they don't believe in war and things like that, but they are still Christians. They believe in God and all that great stuff, the Bible, all that good stuff. And so the Spanish Catholic Mass, I wish it had been in English so we can more so understand what happens. But one thing I learned is that they kneel a lot, to the point where they had a pew just to kneel on. Like it was built into the back of the pew, and then it folded down, and then you kneeled on it. It had cushions and everything. It was really nice. Something else that was different is that they take communion all out of one cup. So everybody in the church drinks out of this one cup. And that threw me off. Because, you know, I grew up Baptist, and we just all get our own cups with the cracker on top, and you got your own, and you don't have to share with nobody. I used to look forward to that because I thought it was like a snack time, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty dope. Something else I did was join the Multicultural Student Union, or MSU. And pretty much what that was, it was created by this lady named Gretel, and she lived a little bit off campus, probably like 2 blocks from campus. And what she would do is she would have us over, and we would talk about different issues going on Bethel's campus in Kansas, and just in the nation, period. We got to talk about how we felt, things that we can do on campus, things that we can do in the city of North Newton and in Newton, period, to bring, you know, awareness and education to the diversityness that Bethel brings that town. So I thought that was really dope. So the first year I was a mentee. My mentor's name was Jordan Blanton, who has been my teammate pretty much. We played basketball together, so we were teammates at Bethel, but we were also AAU teammates since I was in the 7th grade. So she picked me, and it was kind of dope. So her, and then my mentee sisters / basketball sisters / best friends at Bethel / roommates, the twins, Brianna and Brittany Bates. We were all mentees together under Jordan as our mentor. And that was dope because she was one of our RAs as well. And then she was also our teammate. So that worked out really well. Made sure we felt comfortable. We got fed. You know what I'm saying? We never went without. Something else they did for minorities, which at this point, if you did not live in the state of Kansas, if you lived more than 3 hours away or more, you were considered also a minority in some sort. I don't want to say it's a minority, but you were considered, I don't know how to say it, but you got a host family, so that way you also felt like you had a family when you came to Bethel, and I thought that was really dope too. I can honestly say Bethel did a great job at making sure we felt like we were at home. We came there, make sure I did not feel like a minority, making sure I felt comfortable, and that I had everything I need. My host family was amazing. Shout out to them. I wish I had a host family my freshman year, but I definitely had one my sophomore year, and I still talk to them when I see them. We're friends on Facebook, things like that. And one thing I liked is that the husband of my host family was black, and then their daughter was mixed. So, and he also attended Bethel, so he could identify with some things with me. He played basketball at Bethel, so it was dope, cool, things like that. My second year at MSU, I actually became co-president because we had a tie, and I thought it was dope because we were both minorities, of course, because we're MSU, but we were different. I was black, she was Latino, her name was Lupita, and so, I wonder how she's doing. I was talking to her a while, but we ended up being co-presidents, and I thought, you know, we did as good as we could transitioning over MSU. We got a new advisor by the name of Caleb, who was great. We had a lot of new students. We were now not freshmen, so we still actually were mentees, which was crazy, but we could also be mentors as well, so it was kind of a lot going on. We both were very involved at Bethel and things like that. So some things that came out of MSU that year is that we started the gospel choir, which kind of got started our freshman year, but really got going our sophomore year under Leland, Brown, and April Harp, their direction, and we did great. We sung the mess out of this one song, y'all. If I hear I Need You to Survive one more time, I'ma lose it. But we sung that song. We got the opportunity to sing in chapels and different things like that usually we wouldn't sing at, convocation, things like that. Something else that came out of MSU was my favorite, probably one of the most staple things I did at Bethel was the Martin Luther King Jr. program. I headed that and I had a lot of help, but my I Have a Dream flash mob, y'all, I almost cried. I can't believe no one recorded that. It was so dope. So now, that was my PWI experience balled up into one. My HBCU experience, totally different. Now, I grew up watching Drumline, Stomp the Yard, stuff like that, you know, stuff that a different world. I should have started with that. School Days, you know, movies that had HBCU connotations and backgrounds. So I always wanted to attend an HBCU for a few different things. The band, the atmosphere, the Greek life, the atmosphere, the parties, the band, and the atmosphere. And the culture. There's a difference. But I think it's really dope, specifically with Langston, because I'm from Oklahoma, so I know a lot of alumni. So everywhere I go, there's a Langston alumni somewhere. Never feels like, oh, you go to Langston? I went to Langston. Oh, you graduated from Langston? I graduated in 96. Oh, and I crossed, you know, Zeta Phi Beta fall 03. Okay, that would not be the same people, clearly. But you know what I'm saying? Or I crossed Omega Psi Phi, you know, oh, my whole family is Beta Kappa, which is our alphas. And I'm like, that is so crazy. Like, that's really dope. Or, you know, I was there back when the biggest thing I've heard them talk about is the wall. I'm pissed to this day, and y'all can find the president who did it and make sure she sees this video. I'm pissed they tore the wall down. That was the most selfish thing anybody can do, and I bet you $10 whoever tore it down was not an alumni. I'm big on advocating for Langston alumni because I'm now alumni, and these not Langston alumni coming through and trying to ruin our school. And it's not all of them, but some of them are. So yeah, so HBCUs, like I said, is a historically black college and university, and I attended Langston University. Anytime you hear about HBCUs, the first three things, if nothing else, you're gonna think about is Greek life, the yard, and the band. And not necessarily in that order, it depends on kind of what you did. For me, I think of the band, the yard, the band, then Greek life. Well, I don't know, I didn't do the Greek life or the band. So more so just like hearing the band, especially like when they're practicing, they march to the campus during the day and things like that. I think that's dope. And that was something I got excited to hear when I first got to Langston. And then just seeing the Greeks. I've said this for 100 years. Okay, maybe not 100. I've said this 100 times. I'll say it again. Langston Greeks ruin Greek life. And that's not a negative statement. That's a positive statement, because when I go to other schools and I see Greeks doing certain things, I'm just like,
our Greeks don't do that. Our Greeks don't wear that. Our Greeks don't participate in those things.
Like, as if our Greeks are like the Greeks of all Greeks. I love our Greeks. They're dope. They're really dope individuals and dope people, and they've done a lot of great things for our campus. Yeah, so Greek life kind of brings together the campus. You know, usually there's step shows, there's strolling, things like that, and everybody comes out to see them and see what they do. So yeah. Something else I really love, I think spring is my favorite semester at Langston University because of the Greek weeks and the pageants and the probates. It's dope. It's just almost refreshing to see new queens and new kings getting crowned, to see new Greeks on the yard, to see, you know, to the Greeks to be, you know, fundraising and doing their thing. It's just lively on our campus during spring semester. So I love spring semester. So some things I've I did at Langston. I've more so played a backseat at Langston. Yeah. I definitely got into student leadership. It's kind of automatic for me. Let's see, I sat on a few e-boards. I think I sat on a total of 4 e-boards in my tenure of Langston. I sat the sociology e-board, club e-board, yeah, psychology club e-board, student activities board e-board, and heart to heart e-board, and I think that's it. If that's not it, I can't think of anything else right now. I also work for Division of Student Affairs, so I helped with a lot of pageants, a lot of events, homecoming, things like that. I was an RA for, I guess, a semester because I didn't get paid for the second semester. You know, if anybody like to run me my money, my $500, that'd be great. Just kidding, y'all, but no, really. What else did I do at Langston? And then I just kind of played a backseat to a lot of things, just kind of behind the scenes, whatever anybody need help with, I can help them with. Out of the 3 years we had, out of my 3 years at Langston, we had activity coordinator for 2. His name was Paul Pugh, and I helped him with his first campaign. And that man's dope. He's the reason we had the dopest homecoming. I feel like the dopest homecoming to date in the 3 years I was there was my second homecoming. The year I was on the e-board, that was the dopest homecoming. We definitely blew all the money we had, but it was worth it. We had a great time. The only thing I would surely erase out of my mind, but to this day will probably be the funniest part of homecoming, is the Migos concert. But so let's talk about HBCUs a little bit. So some things I love about HBCUs is I love seeing like-minded black young people doing their thing. They're getting their education, they're starting businesses, they're working on their crafts, and I think that's what you see a lot, especially at Langston University. You saw a lot of that. You see a lot of young black entrepreneurs in the making, or young black students perfecting their craft, working on their craft, doing what they do. We have a lot of photographers, hairstylists, graphic designers, Lord, I could go on, but there's a lot of dope people. Misconceptions about HBCUs. People say HBCUs lack diversity. Now that I used to say the same thing. I used to be like, well, there's no diversity. I like to be around diversity, blah, 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 blah. HBCUs do not lack diversity. Black people in themselves, first of all, had their own diversity. And I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own 2 eyes. But black people from Cali are different from black people from Oklahoma, different from black people from New York, from Los Angeles. Did I say Cali? I didn't mean Los Angeles. I meant, Lord, I went blank. New Orleans, Florida, you know, that's what I'm saying. Texas, everybody comes with their own cultures. Texas has a different culture from Chicago, and Chicago has a different culture from Cali, and Cali got a different culture from Washington, and you know what I'm saying? So there's a diversity of black. You'll see it in the way people dress, the way people talk, act, things like that. We have blacks that are literally from Africa, from overseas, that come over and are and you know, attend Langston. They have their own culture and own way of doing things as well. So when people say HBCUs lack diversity, I beg to differ. And then on top of that, we have minority students that I know me personally, I try to make them feel like a majority. Something I do want to start at Langston, and although I'm not a student, I'm still going to work on it, is starting a minority MSU for those minorities. But the thing is, I got to get them involved. So I'm going to tap, I already got somebody in particular I want to head that. She'll know when I call her. But I think that's really important. As someone that was a minority before, and I'm no longer a minority, I think it's so important that those minorities feel at home and comfortable in their skin, schools, whatever. But you guys have a great day. Be blessed. Jesus loves you, and I do too. I really thank you guys for watching, coming into Jay's Closet, chilling with your girl. Good luck choosing schools. Don't let me persuade you. But HBCU all day. Team HBCU. I love you guys for watching. Peace.